I think we have a quorum, Mr. Smith is ready.
Okay.
You are considering Mr. Smith.
That's okay. Good evening. How are you? Good.
Good afternoon. We will officially open our special call meeting this afternoon for the purpose of a public hearing on proposed tax increase for return both 2011 and 12, and the adoption of our budget, and also approve a resolution adopting the setting up the tax levy. And so we will, I guess, give the, if you want to do okay, so we will officially have, oh, sorry, Mr. Brian, will you give us an indication?
Thank you.
Let us pray. Our Father God, we thank you for today. We thank you for the beauty of the day. And Father, we just thank you for everything that you give us, all the blessings that you give us. And Father, I just lift up the supervisors today and the individuals in this meeting here that they'll listen, they'll understand, and Father, to do right for the citizens of Hinds County. And Father, we know that they will. And Father, I just lift them up, each one of them, give them your knowledge and the will to do your will. Father, we just thank you for everything. Again, we give you the honor and glory in everything we do. We ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Now, we will open the public hearings for the proposed. Do we have anyone from the public that want to need to address the board on doing a public hearing? If not, then we will, let's close the meeting, the hearing, and now the board will adopt the fiscal year 2011 and 2012. You, Ms. Woods, you want to bring it? Well, you're going to, okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, board members, and those attending our meeting today. Thank you for this privilege to serve the board as well as the county and to present the fiscal year 2011-2012 budget. I would like to first take this opportunity to thank the Budget and Finance Department team for their management of this year's budget and the preparation for the upcoming budget year. They have guarded our budget to ensure that we stay within our spending plan. They provided budget assistance to the various county departments and elected officials and facilitated this budget process. Special thanks to Mrs. Woods, Ms. Woods, Lily Woods, Director of our Budget and Finance Department, and Mr. Berry, our budget analyst, and the supportive team in the department. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our department heads, our elected officials and staff. They have managed to provide quality services to our county despite the fiscal sacrifices and budgetary boundaries. And finally, I would like to thank the board members for their leadership and tough decisions that were made to carry out the county through these tough economic times. As you know, Hinds County plays a critical role in the structure of Mississippi's government by providing local services directly to citizens, business owners, and constituents. As mentioned, this budget year will continue to focus on meeting the needs of the citizens of Hinds County within available resources. Programs mandated by the state statutes are top priorities in shaping this budget. They are but not limited to general government, public safety, court functions, record keeping, tax collection, administration of elections, assessment of properties, health and welfare, maintenance of roads and bridges through public works, economic development, and etc. Today I present a responsible, lean, and balanced budget to you. We've trimmed our current budget, yet still maintain the required services. This proposed budget continues that lean structure by operating within our means while providing those mandated services. Although lean, this budget will not hinder innovative, creative thinking and ideas, securing resources to meet our needs and carry out our mandated duties. Public safety and the court systems are the largest sources of expenditures for Hinds County. This year, approximately 56% of the county resources are allocated to public safety, court, and legal services, 33% to general government services, and 4% to health and welfare. As you're aware, like most governmental entities, we have experienced an overall reduction due to a decrease in populations, ad valorem taxes, state funding, and other miscellaneous income. Tough decisions were made based on the revenue decline. By making such tough decisions, the county avoided workforce and work hour reductions. During the 2011-2012 budget year, to ensure that we remain within our lean structure, the administration will continue to exercise fiscal discipline and re-evaluate county operations to capture most cost-effective ways in delivering county services. Because of the sound fiscal management of the 2010-2011 budget, we approached the 2011-2012 budget in a better position than last year's budget. Some of those highlights are as follows. In this budget, all employee salaries are fully funded. There will be no furloughs or layoffs in the proposal. We are proposing an ending cash balance of approximately $293,000, which is higher than our last year's ending cash balance of about $40,000. A cash reserve of approximately $1.9 million from swap funds can only be utilized for emergency situations. And also over 50% reduction in debt services in this budget year. In this budget, we have reduction in waste management costs, and we also have provided for capital improvements for county facilities. Also included in this budget is the completion of the final phase of the storm readiness process. The budget also includes enhancement in our economic development efforts by seeking funding and continuing the progress of programs such as the Clinton-Byron Corridor and Highway 80 projects. It also includes investment in technology upgrades to promote cost efficiency in public safety and justice, as well as provide improved operational efficiency to better serve the public. The budget also includes a continual review for the need to fill vacant positions and continual cost management and service improvements of inmate and detainee medical services. In conclusion, and to re-emphasize, in spite of the tough economic times, Hinds County as a service organization is fully dedicated to delivering efficient and cost-effective services. Additionally, we are dedicated and committed to the essentials of building a competitive future, enhancing quality of life, ensuring a quality workforce, and promoting a more attractive business climate. With that, I would like to forward over to Ms. Woods, the Budget Director, and she will present more details of the proposed budget for adoption. Ms. Woods.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Good morning. Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Smith and board members. So used to doing it in the morning, just say morning, I'm mad. We're going to start with the small booklet in our first section. We'll start by outlining the assumptions of the general fund budget. Our main operating budget, what it was based on. First of all, it's based on 879 positions, as Ms. Davis indicated, with the salaries maintained at the current level. Secondly, we have our capital outlays outlined in the budget. We were, however, able to address some capital needs in our general fund budget as related to maintenance. However, we have $934,331 that is still as listed as unmet need. We have $522,700 that we have in the budget as under the bond fund, 207A bond, that are being met in this budget. Included in this budget is a decrease in our current level of funding for our external agencies. Also included is an 11% increase in our employment hospitalization expense. This is approximately $453,988. This increase, however, was just as of yesterday at a level of 15%, so we have decreased it 4%, which is an adjustment in your larger book on every group insurance line that has to be made. So each group insurance line will be adjusted 4%.
And that 4% difference is what was added back to the surplus figure to increase.
Right, it increased from 160 to 292.
292.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Okay. Also included in this package is an increase in our retirement expense of 0.93%. Included is a repayment of our tax anticipation note of $2.5 million, which is a tax anticipation note that we entered into this fiscal year. Overall, we have a decrease in our general fund expenditures of 5%, and this decrease is related to our repayment of debt. We know that in this fiscal year we had to repay our debt of $6 million, whereas in the next fiscal year we will have $2.5 million repayment of debt service.
And that $2.5 million is for what?
It's a tax anticipation note that we took out this year that we will be repaying in next year.
Okay, so this is becoming a yearly event, the tax anticipation unit.
It has over the last 2 years, and we have been able to decrease it substantially. Secondly, the level of budgeted general fund revenues and expenditures proposed for this 2012 budget is $52,569,362. Our proposed expenditures are at a level of $54,478,782. If we turn to the next page, we see our public works budget is still based on 105 positions with salaries maintained at the current salary level, and the budget funded at the current millage rate.
Ms. Wood, would you explain here that the public works funds do not come from the general funds budget? They're their funds.
Their funds are generated through a separate millage. They are not a part of our general operations budget. They have an independent millage that they come from.
From gasoline, diesel fuel.
Right, as well as other fuel taxes. Additionally, in our public works, at our September 30th meeting, we will be asking that the severance tax increase their budget by some $475,000, or the balance remaining in the severance tax to go into the public works budget to improve the roads.
And you do have two budgets. They do have two pots of funds in the public works.
Yes, they have a road and
bridge and road and road and bridge.
Yes, sir.
You said you were going to address the severance tax issue when we talk to public works budget?
That will be addressed at the end of the fiscal year. We have a meeting at September 30th to see the balance in that fund. And a transfer will be brought at that time by the Chancellor's office.
So that transfer is in this budget?
Right. As far as it will be in the beginning balance to be transferred at the end of the year. So they'll have advantage of it in the 2012 budget.
Right. Let me ask this question. That severance tax fund is one-time money, though, isn't it?
No, sir. It's generated each year.
So this board is going to obligate forever now
No,
the
sir.
severance tax fund.
No, sir. That would have to be something that would be addressed on an annual basis.
So,
Or even during the
During the year.
During the year, you can also address it.
My concern is that the public works budget is reduced since 2008 by $1.35 million in valuation of the mill and also the money that the 2008 budget took out of it. This $400,000, $475,000 comes in the budget one time, and then it goes away. So we just found this fund and now we want to fill it in public works, or what is the advantage to depleting this fund and putting it in public works once and then year to year not again, because then we won't have the money back?
Well, actually, Public Works has been using this fund through the years as they've been making requests continuously to the board to use the fund. We're addressing one of the governmental standards, accounting standards that are coming into effect to designate funds for particular purposes. And so what we're trying to do is to designate it at the beginning of the fiscal year for a particular purpose, so that when we do our financial statements for the year ending this particular year, it will already be designated for public works, and they won't have to come before the board each time to say, I would like X number of dollars for this particular project. They'll already know we have this amount of money for this project from this source.
So you're addressing the Gatsby 45 to make sure that we're in line, I guess you want to say financial wise, but yet it still leaves room for us to be able to deal with the other funds that come in.
Right, because a severance fund will earn money over the next fiscal year in 2012 that could be used for other purposes, or if we so choose, it could still be used for public works.
Right.
So this is a one-time?
This is what we request is one time at this particular juncture.
Is there any other reduction other than the millage, the value of the mill that they get credit for, from their budget? Any other reduction being requested in this by the county?
For public works? No, sir.
And we're not requesting a reduction in the village for fiscal year.
It was my understanding that the value of the mill reduced.
No, sir.
It hasn't reduced?
No, sir. It's increased. They did receive an increase in theirs.
This is where I'm getting confused, because I've been talking to Hinds. They've expressed concern about receiving less funds this year because of the reduction in the value of the mill.
No, the value of the mill has not reduced.
I talked to Public Works. He indicated there was a reduction in his funds because of the reduction in the mill. So in my own mind here, I'm kind of in conflict here. Is the value of the mill reduced, or is it the same, or is it increased?
It has increased about 2%. I think it's what the increase was that the assessor had in the assessed value of the properties. I think where the confusion lies, when we had our public hearing earlier, when we had our budget hearings, the discussion was regarding probably a reduction, but there's no reduction.
That was one of the options that we had.
That was one of the options.
Earlier. But in this budget, at this point,
Okay.
yeah,
So the value of the mill was this year, and this FY is the same as the previous FY?
It's increased slightly. It's a slight increase.
Okay.
Okay.
Hinds has had a 2.4% growth,
Okay.
which is way over this 2.4.
Okay, and if we look at our page 3, we'll see our general fund cash analysis, which shows that this fiscal year we plan to end the year with approximately 2.2, which will roll over into our beginning balance of next year, 2012, and that will allow us to have a working cash of $292,752 for the general fund for 2012. And if we move right along to our next section, section 2, under the heading of combined budget, we'll see what our proposed budget is for this particular year for the entire county. The proposed budget is $113,724,674 Of course, of that amount, 54,771,534 is for general funds. 2,327,177 is for other general funds. Our special revenue is 28,672,984. Our capital projects are at 20,571,069. Our debt service at 6,924,811. And our internal service at 57,099. And at this time, I would request the board to adopt the budget for fiscal year 2011-2012, beginning October 1st, 2011, at the level of $113,724,674.
Let me just say,
Hang on, hold on. Hang on, Mr. Graham. Go ahead now.
I so moved that we adopt the budget.
okay, I'll go ahead and accept the motion. I was going to make a statement, but we'll go ahead and accept the motion. So we have a motion to adopt the budget of the general budget of $54,771 and the overall budget of $113,724. Do we have a second? Do we have a
Ms.
second?
Lewis, give us those figures again, please.
113,724,674.
And the general funds is
The general fund is 54,771,534.
Okay. It's been moved. Do we have a second? Not out. I'll second it. It's been moved, proper second. Discussion. All in favor say aye. All opposed, motion is carried.
I'll vote no.
Okay. Well, let me just say,
Mr.
President,
President,
as President of the board,
let me also get Mr. Lewis to clarify the portion that this board has discretion to appropriate, and that is the $54,771,000 versus the $113,724.
Yes, ma'am. The portion that our general operating funds are the parts that the board has discretion over, and that is 54,771,534. The other portions of the budgets are designated, some by statute and some by grant funds and some by bond funds, specific purposes.
Which this board has no discretion. Some of these funds are dedicated millages that go toward the support of Hinds Community College, goes toward the collection of garbage in the unincorporated areas, economic development. Some of these funds go toward the support of our libraries, etc.
yes, those are our special meals, right? Those are
Okay.
just kind of passed through. Okay.
Next, we would have to move to section 4 to,
Let me ask you,
villages in order to section.
I'll go ahead and make it. I stated I was just going to say to you, administrator, and also to you as well. We certainly working with the board and all the elected officials along with our staff. We appreciate and thank you for what you've done. First of all, we want to make sure that you know that you're proposing, not proposed now, an adopted budget that a lot of the employees are glad to hear, which is no layoffs or no furloughs in this budget. We also know that we try to work to increase even more than what we have here, $293,000 more of a cushion, or you call it a surplus. Certainly that did not pan out. But I would hope that the board will look forward to continue to try to work with the budget to make sure that we can increase that level of funding where you'll have a more working budget for anything that may come to pass. But again, I think we've done the best that we could with the resources that we have. So from my vantage point, I want to thank the administrative staff and everybody else that has worked with us to try to get this, knowing that we have to, by law, have a balanced budget. And at least we have one with a little cushion, and we want to thank. Okay. Now go ahead. The next item.
Our next item is the setting of the levy. And in our section 4, you will see the proposed millage rates. In our budget, we were able to look at our sinking fund and reduce that sinking fund millage by 0.79 because of our reduction in our debt. We were also able to reduce our garbage millage and that by 1 mil, and that related to our population. With that reduction, we were able to increase our economic development millage by 0.04 and our general fund millage by 1.75. Also, our school district, Hinds School District, proposed an increase in its GO bond millage of 0.90 and a reduction in its operation of 0.81, as well as a reduction in its tax bond of 0.09. Our Hinds Community College requested the exact same millage as they had in the previous year, as did our Rankin Flood Control levy. So overall, we have a total Hinds County levy of 106.20 mils, with the Rankin Flood Control at 4.75. And with that, I'd like to...
Let me just ask before you... I know that's the levy on the flood control. That's on a special area.
Yes, sir.
Not on the whole county. How much... I know it's you got 4.75. How much is that actual proposed... how much... cash money will that generate?
I would have to check their sheet to see exactly the dollar amount associated with theirs to see if it covers. They give us a dollar amount request. I don't think they issue a dollar amount request on their levy sheet.
Do we get an audit on that?
Yes.
I'm sure they send us a copy of their audit report. And I can follow up to get that exact information for you.
Okay. We can get it later.
Okay. I would request the board adopt a resolution adopting the levy for fiscal year 2011-2012 for collection of taxes in Hinds County, Mississippi. Whereas Hinds County Board of Supervisors has adopted a budget for fiscal year 2011-2012. And whereas in order to finance the operations of Hinds County government, it is necessary to levy county ad valorem taxes for 2011-2012 fiscal year in order to fix the tax rate of a levy for the county, road districts, school districts, and other taxing districts. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hinds County Board of Supervisors does hereby adopt the following tax levy for the fiscal year 2011-2012 beginning October 1, 2011 as follows. The general county millage 25.59, special ad valorem millage 0.88, road bridge millage 1.016 for the maintenance and construction of road and bridges, constructing and maintaining all bridges and culverts 0.762 for a total of 1.778, county bond interest millage 2.455, Jackson Hinds Library System 0.927, Hinds County Mental Health Commission 0.742, Hinds County Economic Development District 0.388, Hinds County Community college millage, college support and maintenance, 2.46, plant expansion and equipment, 1.28, special tax levy, 0.99, dorm renovation and new band hall, 0.30, agricultural high school, 0.54, total countywide levy, 38.33, Hinds County